With regard to India, India's had a much more halting and hesitant and intermittent approach toward developing nuclear weapons and a nuclear doctrine as compared to that of China. Whereas China first tested nuclear weapons in 1964, India has had a civilian nuclear program, and throughout the 50s and 1960s has always retained an interest in keeping open a weapons option. And there was this slow halting work toward developing a potential nuclear weapons option that proceeds alongside the civil nuclear program. A big crux comes in 1971 when, and this is familiar to anybody who will speak to Indian historians or Indian strategists about India's nuclear history, is that during the 1971 war against Pakistan, which leads to the creation of Bangladesh, the United States sends a nuclear-capable aircraft carrier group, the Enterprise, into the Bay of Bengal, which is taken by Indian strategists to be a nuclear threat to India, to not, for example, take the war into West Pakistan. This sense of having received a nuclear threat from the USSR, from the US, really galvanizes a lot of Indian strategists to the extent that Indira Gandhi, as the Prime Minister then, authorizes what she terms a peaceful nuclear explosive in 1974, but which was India's first nuclear test. Following this pattern of just this intermittent, halting interest in developing nuclear weapons, India from then on begins to drift into what's called the policy of opacity, in which they are slowly building the capabilities to have nuclear warheads. They're slowly building warheads that can be delivered by aircraft or by short-range missiles and the missiles themselves. However, they never declare their overt nuclear weapon status, nor do they stop this program of weaponization. So it's opaque as to what their nuclear weapon status actually is. In the 1980s and from then onwards, the senior Indian strategists agree around the idea of minimum deterrence and no first use as what the eventual Indian nuclear doctrine and posture would be if it were ever to go nuclear. And that's been a constant thread throughout Indian nuclear thought. It wouldn't be until after the Cold War, however, that India took that step to avert nuclear deterrence.